A heart that don't know love is a soul that walks alone. It takes more than a rooftop to make a house a home. Na 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 na, 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 na 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 na. A heart that don't know love is a soul that walks alone. It takes more than a rooftop to make a house a home. And then people would be people, so friends are hard to claim. Family is foundation, not just for sharing your last name. Cause in these times, you gotta know when you got love. And in these times, you gotta know when you got love. There ain't nothing wrong if you never know daddy, and ain't nothing wrong if you grow with granny. Here's the reality, ain't no love until you know family. Ain't nothing wrong if you never know daddy, and ain't nothing wrong if you grow with granny. Here's the reality, ain't no love until you know family.
All my memories are drawing.
I honestly don't remember my childhood. To be honest, all I remember is drawing. I remember drawing, so all my memories are finding paper, pencil. If I was a miserable child, I don't know. To be honest with you. I've heard stories, but I remember drawing. I remember trying to figure out how to draw something.
About 5 or 6, you know. One day we just get up and, who do this here? It's Kenwin. Draw a photograph. Well, the mother see it first. And she said, what? That's good, what? You good? I said, alright. We never force him out it or into it. And we just decide, well, this is it with him. This is what he's gonna do. This is what he like.
You know, I hear people talk about the childhood memories and that kind of thing. Everything is just morph into one blur for me. And the clearest points, to be honest, there's be those points where I engage in with art. I mean, apart from little memories with your family and that kind of thing, but nothing else. So they say that I was not outdoors individual either. Sports wasn't my kit. And simply for the fact it took me away from trying to draw something.
When you have to do something, you can't stop it.
School days.
So you hit primary school and you had a skill set that you could draw something, and it puts you on a level, I don't want to say pedestal, but you know, people come to you to draw the little cartoon of the day and that kind of thing. So it has put you in a position from early on. This kind of feed you to continue going. People come into you and you gain attention off of this, you know. So you have the mental space to work. Work sound like too heavy of a term for a child. And it's the same thing when you hit secondary school. But I think it changed for me as you grow older, because you start to become more absorbed in it. Not that you weren't absorbed earlier on, but you start to really become absorbed in the making of it, the process, you know. And it's less about drawing the cartoon and more about the emotion that you start to derive from it.
Now I never used to tell him how he must paint or why he must paint that. But when he drawing, he sit down there and he drawing, I would pass and just look at the painting, the drawing, and say, you know, there's something wrong, you know. I never mention what it was or what I see, I just say something wrong, you know. And I would leave him like that. And when I come back, he would fix it. I don't know how he used to see it, but he would fix it.
I remember that shift. I remember where it started to emotionally have meaning for me, right? And that's where the problem started.
Discovering your way.
The most valuable experience to this day. The art teacher in Mocha at that time, Patrick Roberts, had one philosophy about art. And it was that you discover your way. Right? And it was, and I'll explain how important this is. I never saw his work until after I left school. But he would come in class and he would give direction on what you should be doing. You go do the work, you come back, you get critique. But it was always about what you do. If you want to learn to draw, you go and draw. You go outside, you go by a dance studio, you put in the hours, you sit down, you draw. You want to learn something, you figure out the process. And you came back in class as a guide, as a critique, not to say that this is the way to do it, right? So inbuilt into that process was the understanding that it all comes from within me, right? And to this day, that is the thing that drives my growth. You know, I am not afraid of learning a new concept or learning a new method, because I know it takes a certain amount of hours, a certain amount of practice, and growth will happen. Just that support. You know, and it's not to say that they will, yeah, this is the thing you had to do. That's just them not discouraging me. You know, I have told people that my father was my biggest critic. You know, I think you heard him say that he would pass and he would look at a painting, and this man is a mechanic, this man thumbs are big, his fingers here. He can hold a paintbrush and a pencil. You know, but he loved it, and he would walk in and he would simply say, you know, something not right, or I don't think you get it yet. Not in a patronizing way, not to say, oh God, your girl good, it's to say that, you know, keep working at it. And those things live with you. Those things, when you are up nights working on your own, nobody else is around, in the silence, those are the things that push you.
Windows of knowledge.
When I started at the University of the West Indies, I actually came to do the visual arts degree. And within the first year doing the degree, I switched. What caused me to switch was my encounter with the Carnival Studies program. And it might sound weird, you know, you're thinking Carnival Studies. You know, people always ask, where are you going to learn Carnival Studies? You're going to learn to fet? But the program actually taught you about artist development, how to manage yourself, how to survive in the industry. And I knew then that's what I wanted, because I wanted and want to survive as an artist. So my engagement with UE was through that lens, right? Through that window. Because it's through the Carnival Studies program I became more entrenched into figuring out a way how to become an artist, right? You have all this training inside of you now, and you're asking yourself, how are you going to use it? And then what this place, what the creative arts does as a student, and when I left, as soon as I graduated, I was recruited to teach inside the Carnival Studies program. And that opened up another world, because now I started to engage with lecturers as colleagues, and having conversations with them that I wasn't privy to before. And everybody inside this department is entrenched in Caribbean culture and believe in Caribbean culture and pull from the source, and that was a lot to process. So that naturally filtered, I shouldn't say naturally, but that made its way into my work, and looking to see how my work could impact upon Caribbean culture. One of the other things about engaging in this space that I have to mention is my interaction with students. The interaction with students, I think, pushed me further, because you meet students now who also trying to forge their career, and you are on a path of development, but then you see them now on their own path of development. So you're asking yourself, one, how can I help them? And then how can I help myself? And you meet students with passion, you meet students who have more training than you, more experience than you, and it's a full engagement with sectors of society and the industry, right? That humbles you. Whilst you are the person who is in charge to deliver some kind of knowledge, it humbles you because you are also receiving and getting an outlook that you would not have gotten before. And what is the use of telling someone that they could make a way in art if you are not showing by example? And that definitely does drive me as well. My work cannot happen without others.
Very nice, very nice. Out of the box. Good.
I prefer to use live models. That is the best practice. But for this exhibition, I wanted a much clearer image, a much more crisp story. So I decided to go with photographs to use, which allows me greater manipulation of both the subject and of what I do with the image afterwards. One of those. I still want to try. No. And I could take it out in the painting. I would still want to try the pose that we had. The two that, so I'll take this, and then the two that I showed you. Even though we don't have this space, just to get your image, and I could work something into that afterwards.
Okay.
This one is here.
So we're at it.
I'm gonna get a. Yeah, I'm hopefully that something to stand I kind of do. Let's go a little closer to me. Nice. Nice. Perfect. Let me tell you what I want, Tara. It have it reach up, it have, I can't do it properly. It's a part of the dance where you sew. You know what that is? Well, you probably don't know from watching me. Probably like, what the hell?
Like singing that song.
Yeah. Let me show you. Let me see if it's still on.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. Yeah. You're a real professional. So, I didn't know. I'm ready. Just now. I'm ready. Alright. Ready, Rena? It on? Look at me, Rock. Yeah, give me that McGregor smile. Putting no tricks now, man.
I'm doing movement. It's all what I said. You start from there and you come
Alright, well, give me the smile, though. Give me the McGregor smile. Nice.
back there.
Alright, I'm going to light in your eye too, man, so let me stop.
It's like I will say.
Alright. Alright, partner. Alright, partner. Thank you.
Ooh, yeah. Hurry, hurry, come on over. I wanna make love to you, love to you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Just relax, let me take over. I'm gonna be good to you, yes it's true. Got no time for you to think about it. I got no time to waste, my friend. My heart is longing for you and I can't pretend. My love is what you need, I guarantee. I'm waiting and I'm ready for you. Don't let the day come pass us by. Don't break my heart, don't make me cry. I gotta let you know, baby, you're the one.
My spirituality.
No doubt nature does make you feel connected to spirit, but then you also had you have a my mother used to pray a lot and my father would pray. Sometimes you walk outside in the garage and he under the car praying. And this is work, this is physical work, this is grease and iron and nuts and bolts and a man alone in a garage praying. You know, many a nights I walk outside and my mother praying. You know, at the sewing machine and you see her lips mumbling. So there's no disconnect for me in work and spirituality and work and imbuing your work with spirit.
I know love was not meant to be a battle or a war, but the way that I'm feeling right now, I'm not so sure. But still, I know the way I feel about you in my heart. It's so sad that we love had to end before it could start, as things get strange, strange, strange. Without your love I feel strange, strange, strange. I know all of the reasons why we can't be, just can't be. But every time I look into your eyes, these reasons don't matter to me. And sometimes I reach out to touch you, but you're gone.